Everything in life that's hard is just a series of things that are easy. You just have to take that first step. Taking that responsibility for yourself and committing to yourself to say, I'm gonna take action and I'm gonna make it happen.
There is no easy road to what you want. It's a long road. You got a lot of people that want to be a doctor. Some people don't want to go to school for 8 years.
Right.
But the ones that go to school for 8 years end up being some of the best doctors ever and live a doctor's lifestyle. Some people say a doctor's lifestyle sucks. Not the doctor that dreamed to be the doctor.
You're going to lose sleep. You'll doubt whether it'll work. You'll stress to make ends meet. You won't finish your to-do list. You'll wonder whether you made the right call and have no way to know for years. This is what hard feels like, and that's okay. Everything worth doing is hard, and the more worth doing it is, the harder it is. The greater the payoff, the greater the hardship.
I think a lot of entrepreneurship and even personal growth is training yourself on how you respond to hard. Because in the early days, hard was, ooh, stop. This isn't good. This is a warning sign. This is a red flag. I should slow down, or I should stop, I should pivot. And I think if you can shift from this is hard to no one else will be able to do this, then it flips from being this thing that you're like, oh, poor me, to oh, poor everyone else who's gonna have to fucking try.
Shut off your phones, shut off all technology, find a dark, quiet place for you to think. You have to think first. And then when you think, you have to think, okay, what's my purpose in life?
It is so easy to beat people today. They are so soft. They have no work ethic. No one can stick with anything. Everyone's distracted. They're on social media. They're counting the fucking notification because they can't stick with shit.
The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition. It's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life rather than doing the things you know you should be doing but aren't. People delay doing things they don't like for longer than it takes to do them.
I see so much people get comfortable. Complacency is the most dangerous thing in the world. You can't get comfortable, bro. Once you get comfortable, you start losing yourself.
There's a process to all this stuff, man. The process starts with, you gotta shut off technology. You gotta go here. So go to that dark place where you're alone. No cell phones, no music, no TVs, no computers. You by yourself. Very few people want to be alone anymore. To succeed, you must fail. In failure and in suffering, all the answers are in there.
If you are experiencing a losing season right now, understand that there's a winning season around the corner. But you have to be an active participant in getting yourself out of the losing season. You can't do what I did back in the day, which is sulk and let the dominoes continue to fall by stopping the things that are working for you.
I taught myself how to fail. I'm always stood on that limit of that. I'm there. Okay, I failed. That was right there. What did I miss? What the fuck did I miss? That's what I fucking missed. And then it happens.
That's why losing in life is so important. Whether it's getting dumped, getting fired, losing a game, loss. Those feelings where things didn't work out your way, that's important because it lets you know this is the bad feeling that comes when it goes wrong and you improve, and then it makes the good feelings of victory all the better.
I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fucking fail, I'm gonna fucking fail, I'm gonna fucking fail, and I will succeed.
Stop complaining about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't put in. The only way to become more successful than most people is to be willing to do something most people aren't willing to do.
Anybody can do things that are easy. It's like, how do you behave when things are difficult or when the shit hits the fan? That's what defines you. Not like, are you the nice guy? Do you take a bunch of photos when everybody's sucking your dick? It's like, not do you. It's easy to behave well when things are going good.
So when your plan fails, when those bullshit fucking laws get too heavy, when you get knocked the fuck down in the fucking canvas, when everything falls apart in your life and your plan is fucked up, what the fuck are you gonna do? There's only one motherfucking option. Stay fucking hard.
You're a man. You are a man. Stand up and be a man. Make the hard decisions, make the sacrifices, make the unpopular decisions, and become comfortable in your own skin. And if you are not a person that you are comfortable being alone with, that is the one person in this universe that you have full power, full right, and full responsibility to change.
Imagine that you're in a movie, and imagine the movie begins now, and you're the hero of the movie. What would that guy do? What would that guy do right now? Because you are.
When you see a movie and you watch a movie about a person who keeps failing, and at the end, they succeed, how do you feel after you watch that movie?
Elated.
Amazing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I become the movie. I want to feel how I feel watching someone else in a movie. When I watched Rocky get his ass kicked and I watched all these different things of failure, I was able to put myself there and say, God, man, how much do you feel now that you finally got there? That's what failure has done to me.
If you had to create a human, what would you put them through to make them tough? It probably wouldn't be a really chill life.
Yeah.
What would you put them through to make them patient? You probably wouldn't give them things immediately. And so it's like, we want these traits, but each of the traits has a price tag attached to it. It's just like, do you want to pay the price tag to get the thing?
That you are the fucking hero in your story. You are the man on the white horse. You are not to seek approval or validation from anyone, because the only approval and validation I need is that of my consciousness, of my greater higher self.
I isolate myself. I don't look at messages on Instagram. I don't send messages on Instagram. I don't go out. You would not like my life. No, it'd be boring to you.
Well, no, but I do appreciate the quiet life.
Yeah, I live alone, and sometimes I'm like, hello. Make sure my voice still works.
It was isolation. It was visualization. It was motivation, and it was dedication. There was nothing else going on in my life. You know what I mean?
And you don't like people too, right?
I mean, it's not that I don't like people. It's just that get to the pinnacle. It needs to be like that. It needs to be no outsiders. It needs to be, you need to have your team and your focus, and that's it.
Why are you so antisocial? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you staying on the basketball court so much? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you out there practicing in the hot sun when ain't nobody else out there? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you not clubbing? Like every time I text you and invite you to go do something fun and cool, you always studying. Because I'm trying to get it. The more weird you are is a reflection of how committed you are to focusing on your shit, molding and shaping and developing your ideas and your craft so that when it's time for you to make your rounds, you gonna fly.
I mean, just sitting around dreaming someday, someday I'm going to get a different job. Someday I'm going to change this. Well, someday ain't a day of the week.
I have led a toothless life. I have never bitten into anything. I was waiting. I was reserving myself for later on, and I have just noticed that my teeth have gone.
A lot of people wait for perfect conditions to start, but don't realize that starting is the perfect condition. He's saving himself to use his teeth, but he could have had all of his teeth at the end if he had been using them the whole time. And so we have this idea, I call it the fallacy of the perfect pick, but thinking that you're going to have this one shot, this one pick of this one opportunity that's going to take you all the way, but it's the habit of biting that takes you all the way, not where you choose to bite the first time.
How many times have you looked back on your life and thought, I wish I had started something sooner. I wish I had done this thing. I wish I had done that thing. And I'm going to tell you something. The biggest regret that you will ever have in your entire life is that you didn't push through the fear. You didn't push through the bullshit imposter syndrome. You didn't push through the self-doubt and get started.
How do you know when you're quitting because you're being a bitch?
Yeah.
And how do you know that you're moving on from something that's no longer worthwhile?
Which is, do you push or do you pivot? Like, do I push through whatever this hardness is, and there's like something that's in sight that I think I can go to, or there are fundamental things that have changed that make my original hypothesis wrong?
We give up a little bit too fast, or as soon as it gets hard, that's when we're like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this. And I think some of the best things come right after fear, or right after, those hard moments. That's when you finally get your breakthroughs.
Everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen.
It's easy to give up.
Hell yeah.
It's the easiest thing in the world to do. All right, man, I'm done. I ain't going. I ain't gonna keep going.
Yeah,
I don't feel like going to work.
The one,
done.
yeah, man.
It's easy. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go harder.
I missed out so many parties, and I used to think, oh my god, that's the party of the year. But then as you grow up, you realize there's a party every other day, but there's these opportunities for you to reach your goal. They don't come every day.
There was no outsiders. It was isolation. It was visualization. It was motivation, and it was dedication. There was nothing else going on in my life. You know what I mean? To get to the pinnacle, it needs to be like that. It needs to be no outsiders. It needs to be, you need to have your team and your focus, and that's it. I don't need friends that aren't involved in this game.
Fuck clubs, fuck partying, fuck trying to fit in and socialize, rub elbows with everybody so people can stop calling you weird. Why are you so antisocial? Because I'm trying to get it. Let me tell you something, homie. These women ain't going nowhere. These clubs, these parties, all this shit ain't going nowhere.
With all due respect to everyone, fuck everyone. I'm just here from my own self. This is something in me that I'm just itching to get.
This is your new life. Take it or leave it. There's no happiness about it. There's no peace behind it. It sucks. It just fucking sucks.
You're going to lose sleep. You'll doubt whether it'll work. You'll stress to make ends meet. You won't finish your to-do list. You'll wonder whether you made the right call and have no way to know for years. This is what hard feels like. And that's okay. Everything worth doing is hard. The greater the payoff, the greater the hardship. If it's hard, good. It means no one else will do it. More for you.
Hey, guess what? It's going to be the hardest thing you ever did. It's going to take fucking a long ass time. It's probably going to take 3 or 4 times as long as you think it's going to take. Along the way, you're going to lose all your fucking friends. You're probably going to lose some significant others too along that way. You're going to get made fun of. You're going to get bullied. You're going to get harassed. You're going to get attacked on the internet daily. You're going to struggle. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to owe people money. You're going to fuck up your bank account. There's going to be multiple fucking days where you don't think that you're going to make it. And those days sometimes last for months. Nobody's going to relate to you. No one's going to understand why you're doing it. Everybody's going to question it. You're going to have to answer it every single time, and it's going to piss you off. And bro, this is the life that you're choosing.
A lot of people live their entire lives not knowing, not being happy, because they feel as though they're not fulfilling their purpose. One time in my life, I felt that. What was my purpose?
Stop questioning your purpose. Just know that whatever journey you're on, you can't be envious of somebody else. You can't look over in their yard and go, why ain't I rocking like that person? It's not your time. God don't want that to happen for you like that. You just keep doing what you doing, and there is no bad in your life. It's all good.
The purpose is always there. The purpose never leaves us because the very purpose is you. You are always the purpose.
What is purpose to me? And purpose to me is simply being useful. I used to think I was put on earth to be a wrestler. That was it. I was put on earth to be a WWE superstar. And then I started doing a little bit of acting, and I'm like, oh, no, it's easy. I'm a storyteller. No, I'm a human being, breathing air like everybody else. And I'm significantly insignificant. I'm a grain of sand on a beach in a pale blue dot out in the middle of nowhere. I just want to be useful. Life, to me, is a gift.
Sometimes life can really hijack your fucking mind. When that happens to you, you're all fucked up. Your goals, your ambitions, everything is out the fucking window. Sometimes your girlfriend or boyfriend breaks up with you. Guess what? Get the fuck over it. They no longer want you. Life will hijack your mind if you let it. Don't allow all these things to make you a lesser person. You must own your mind. Don't let life own yours. Get after it, stay hard. A lot of us give total control to life. We don't have any control of it. We just give all control to life. I do this shit every morning to prepare my mind for what life's gonna throw at me. In combat, you wear body armor. But what we do wrong is we don't strengthen our minds. You might have sore legs, sore back, sore shoulder. So, the struggle is real. It never gets any easier. You gotta get harder. No one cares what you did yesterday. It only matters what you're doing today. Those who take me literally, so I'm a cheerleader for those who want to be better.
I love thinking about that when I'm thinking about big life decisions. Like, what would I do if I weren't afraid? And it's usually like the big one, the bigger thing that I really want to do, but I'm afraid to do it. It's like, that's what I should do.
Step aggressively towards your fear. And that step towards your fear is the step into bravery.
In life, you have to have no fear. You have to have no fear. You have to believe in who you are and what you do. And just go fucking get it.
Here's another thing about rituals, yeah? Rituals. Rituals is another word for fear. I could warm up in this chair and throw me out there and I'm still gonna perform. I'm still gonna go out and do what I do. There is no rituals. Rituals to me is another word for fear. Superstitions and all that shit. Just another word for fear. And I don't fear nothing.
Fear is my friend. I love fear. Fear allows me to reach my highest potential. The fear of failing is an illusion.
Yeah.
Fear is an illusion. But we have to have desire. We have to have something that pushes us. Fear pushes us.
I got to mile 81. They said, you're not going to make the time. I had 24 hours and I was going so slow, taking so much time. This is when I realized that the human mind, once everything gets connected, once the mind knows you're not going to quit something, it's going to try to find more. One day that thing's going to come up. And if you're not constantly performing without purpose, you're not going to be ready when the time comes. I chose this world to be a warrior. Now, and I would choose it again if I came back to this world. The mentality of a warrior is very different than your normal mentality. You must be that person on that door, get ready to open it, thinking to yourself, if I die, so be it. My first question was, okay, what are you going to give up? What are you going to sacrifice? What are you willing to forgo? Because a lot of people, like this guy came in one time, I was a trainer. He goes, man, I can stop doing anything but my frappuccinos. I go, fucking leave. It's hard for people to understand how I lost 106 pounds in less than 3 months. I sat down at the table and I said to myself, what are you willing to give up? Everything. I was not always this strong guy you see. I wasn't born this motherfucker. I made him. I went through a lot of hard times in my life to get here today. At the bottom of insecurities, fear, self-doubt, lies, was me buried in the fucking fetal position. But I sat around and read a book on the Medal of Honor. And those guys, all I wanted to be was an uncommon man. In my whole life, I was not that. How I got out of that was recognizing it, being honest with it, being truthful with it, and then fixing it. I walked in the recruiter's office and he looked at me and he said, you're fat and you're black. I said I want to be a Navy SEAL. I didn't know there'd only been 35 African-American Navy SEALs at that time. He looked at me and said, there's only been 35 African-Americans in 70 years make it through. You know what I said to myself? What if I can be the 36th? It's the what if I can pull off a fucking miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be?
You have to have a delusional mindset. Yeah. You have to be so far out there to believe that it's possible. You grow up, people are broke. I look at all my high school buddies, they're working very low paying jobs. Like, I get it. Like, life isn't easy, but you can create the delusion of scarcity or the delusion of abundance. And I just decided to create the delusion of abundance, that it was possible, that I could make more money, that I could build better networks, that I could actually provide value to people.
Complete delusion. You gotta believe the delusion because it's only delusional until it works. So is it really delusional?
You're crazy until you're successful. Then you're a genius. People think you're too obsessed. You're a weirdo. Stop only making videos. Like, get a life. Be realistic. People will convince you you're out of your mind for wanting to do this. Then once you're successful, they're like, yo, your drive, your tenacity was great. But it's like, yeah, well, where was that back then?
You have to be crazy enough to think that it's possible. That's how you fucking do something worthwhile. That's how you beat the fucking odds. You have to believe it's possible.
So what I tell myself is I go back to the months and years of preparation to get to that day. And I'm telling myself, the 3:30 in the morning, and I'm looking at my shoes and I want to go out there and run 30 miles. I have to, in that second, in that moment of this self-talk, my mind saying, you got to find more, you got to find more. I once again calm down, go back into my mind, and I have to reflect back on the shit I did to get here.
You have to be cognizant, you have to be aware of how you are being influenced. Because in this day and age, right now, if you aren't careful, you can slide down the path of least resistance, the path to weakness.
If you can't control your own brain and your brain controls you, you're fucked.
It's all in your mind. Whatever you hold in your mind will tend to occur in your life. If you continue to believe as you have always believed, you will continue to act as you have always acted. You will continue to get what you have always gotten. All you have to do is change your mind.